The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us this afternoon for the Class Agent Portal rollout. I'm Maggie Bramley, and I'm joined by Christine Riendo, Director of Reunion Giving and Class-Based Fundraising, Samantha McGill, Director of Advancement Services and Technology, and Ginny Van Dusen, Director of Alumni Career Services. We shared the new portal with class chairs, correspondents, and agents at the Volunteer Summit a few weeks ago, and are thrilled to share it with you this afternoon. So thank you for being with us at the end of your day. Before we get started, I want to point out the text box on the right-hand side of your screen. If you have any questions, please type them in that box, and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. So let's get started. Before we start talking about the Class Agent Portal, we thought it would be a good idea to talk a little bit about participation at Holy Cross. This picture here shows the founder of the Holy Cross Fund, Matthew Kavanaugh, class of 1920, who founded the Holy Cross Fund in 1947. In this picture, he is with Father John Brooks, the longtime President Emeritus at Holy Cross, who really was a champion of participation here at Holy Cross. And it was these two men that really helped push Holy Cross to being one of the top 10 for alumni participation in the country. So why is Holy Cross so successful? We have outstanding class volunteers. You are class agents and our class chairs and correspondents who keep your classes connected and reach out every year to keep people connected to the college and to each other and to their classmates. And we also have a strong history of alumni participation. Holy Cross has been over 50% on average for more than 30 years, and it really makes it something to strive for, something that is an institutional priority and something that's hard to move away from. Philanthropy is really ingrained in Holy Cross's culture. The Men and Women for Others culture really inspires people to be philanthropic and to give back. And Holy Cross is an institution worthy of support. And then it's just interesting to note that 65% of our alumni have given at least once in the last 5 years. So Holy Cross has been over 50% on average for the last 30 years, but as you see from this chart, that is not the case nationally. In the chart on the right, you see that the average for alumni participation in the country as of 2014 had dropped to about 8%, and it was at the high in about 1988 at 18%. And if you contrast that with Holy Cross, in 1988, Holy Cross was an all-time high of 58% participation and finished the year of 2014 just over 50%. So we are seeing a decline, but it's nowhere near as big as the national trends are showing. If you look at the chart on the right, you really see why that is. The green line indicates the number of alumni of record, or solicitable alumni that we can solicit every year to ask for gifts. And you see that number rising dramatically from 1973 to 2013, and that number continues to grow. Yet the black line along the bottom of the chart really shows that the number of donors hasn't increased that dramatically. So it really shows that that's why alumni participation rates are dropping. So what are our participation rates for our campaign? So participation is an institutional priority. About 2 years ago, we spent a lot of time talking to our class agents and our class chairs and correspondents about participation at Holy Cross and the importance of staying over 50%. And our Board of Trustees reaffirmed their commitment to maintaining 50% participation. And you can see that in every year of the Become More campaign, we have been over 50% so far. But you can also see, if you look on the right-hand side, our participation rates have slipped a little bit. In fiscal year 14, we were at 50.5%. We finished last year in 2016 at 50.2%. And yet, if you look at the middle of the chart, the number of donors we've received gifts from each year has increased. And that really goes to show the chart that you just saw that indicated that while the number, it takes more donors to maintain 50% each year. So this year our goal is to again maintain 50%. And in order to do that, we need to receive gifts from 17,023 alumni. So why is this so challenging? We've talked a little bit about the solicitable base and the increase in the solicitable base, but we also are seeing an increase in LIBUNTs and a declining, and for those who are not familiar with the LIBUNT term, that's last year, but unfortunately not this. So someone who made a gift in 2016 but has not yet made a gift in 2017. We also are finding that it's more challenging to engage brand new and returning donors. So engaging brand new donors and people who have fallen off for the last couple of years. People are changing their contact information pretty regularly. They're getting rid of their landlines. They are not opening their mail necessarily, so it's getting to be more challenging to keep our alumni contact information current. We have seen an explosion of the growth of 501c3s over the last 10 years in the United States, and they're all competing for the same philanthropic dollars. And donors want to be more directed in their giving. They really want to know how their dollars are having an impact on the organization they're supporting. And we're also seeing a rise in new trends of giving, things that may not work for an institution of higher education, things like text to give. We've had some really great success with our giving days with the Give Purple and the I Heart Holy Cross campaigns of late, but there are some trends that we just can't use as an institution of higher education. So where are we today? Our goals this year are to raise $9.8 million of current use unrestricted money and to maintain 50% participation. So as of this morning, we are tracking about almost $800,000 ahead of where we were at this time last year, which is really, really great news as we go into the last 6 weeks of our fiscal year. This is the result of a couple of really strong reunion classes that have just had great efforts, and it really has helped us position the Holy Cross Fund as a priority during the Become More campaign. If you look down at our participation numbers, we started the morning at 30.0%, and we started at 10,019 donors, dead even with our donor count from last year. And yet, we're 0.4% behind where we were this time last year. And again, that really goes to show you that we need more donors every year in order to maintain 50% participation. But I think what I just want to go back to before we introduce the portal is that we have been successful because of you, because of the work that you do to engage your classmates every year. Our 10-year participation rate is 52.8, but the participation rate for alumni assigned to an agent is 57%. That means that people who are being contacted by a classmate are more likely to give than the average alumnus or alumna of the college. And that really goes to show why we have been able to maintain 50% for so many years. So before I turn it over to Sam to show you the new portal, I just want to say thank you for everything that you have done and everything that you will do for the remainder of the fiscal year and going forward. So before I turn it over to Sam, I just want to remind you that there is a box for questions. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to type them into that box and we'll answer them at the end of the presentation. So Sam?
Great. Thanks, Maggie. So as Maggie said, I'm Sam McGill. I'm the Director of Advancement Systems Technology for the college. And my team has been working very closely with our vendor named Reher to bring this class agent portal to life so that we can really give you guys the best resources and tools available to help you make those asks and connect with your classmates. Class Agent is one of the online portals that Reher supports. They actually support a wide range of our peer institutions as well. It's one portion of a larger fundraising platform that we utilize in our office, but they do have this front-end facing portion as well that has become very useful and actually quite integral in having our class agents and other institutions' class agents be more connected to the school and to their classmates themselves. So the class agent tools for volunteers, the great part about this is that it is something you can access anywhere that you have an internet connection via your laptop. And it allows you to view prospects, your contact information in the class ranks, how you're competing against each other, where you're doing. We actually are able to push out different scripts and resources from your Holy Cross Fund representative so that you'll be able to use all of the helpful texts that we have as guidelines. There are prompts for next actions, which you will see to help you kind of stay on track with who needs to be contacted, what needs to be done. And you're going to be able to record your progress and activity with each of your classmates and your prospects as we go through this module. Additionally, this application is extremely mobile friendly. We do have an app in the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. And this is actually a functionality that you'll be able to see will be quite useful from your mobile devices as we get into it. It has the exact same look and feel as classagent.com. You're going to be able to email your classmates, text them, or call them directly from your phone, but just with a click of the button. And just like you would from your web-based browser, you'd be able to receive any push notifications that your Holy Cross Fund representative would push out to you. So after the training, we will be pushing out on a given date all of your access to the Class Agent portal, and this will be the main way that you would log in through a web browser, which is classagent.com, or you would do it through your mobile app. And once you log in with your username and password, you're going to be coming to the Class Agent portal main dashboard. On this main landing page, you're going to see what campaign we're in, which is our FY17 final push, very exciting, ending June 30th, Friday. Next to that, you're going to see the notifications button in the upper right corner. This will be any notifications that your Holy Cross Fund staff or class leader who's in charge of you at Holy Cross will be pushing out to you. Different messages, some rally cries, anything like that. Next to that, we have our resources. If you click on that, that's going to have all of the different documents that Holy Cross has pushed out to you that we believe would be helpful in your solicitation efforts, such as gifts and actions, and also some training materials for using the Class Agent portal as well. Next to that, you will also see your name. If you click on that, you're going to be able to contact your Holy Cross Fund representative, or you'll be able to log out of the system. Moving on from that, we do have the dashboard right up top, and you'll notice that we have two different sections. We have completed and donations. Now, it's an important distinction to make because we don't consider it complete once you made a donation, once somebody makes a donation to the college, and neither does REHR. To complete the action, you actually have to go back in and send a thank you note to your classmate for their donation once we have received it. That's to really give a holistic view and give a really nice approach to the entire process to make sure that we are really making people feel like that it's not just about money, it's about something more than that. Below that, we have Astrid Ludwig is the next prospect you should focus on. So this is just one way that REHR helps us keep track of what our next action should be in this platform. So what they do is they look through based on major, inclination to give, everything like that, and what the next action is, and help you decide who you should really focus on next with your efforts, so that if it's a quick little interaction with the platform you're having, you know who to focus on, or if it's a more robust time that you decide to dedicate towards this, at that point in time, you'll be able to know that as well. If you scroll down, you're going to be able to see all of your prospects. By prospects, we mean the different classmates who are assigned to you. And they are defaulted to being sorted by one, who you should focus on next based on their next action. If you've never contacted them, they sort to the top. It is then followed by send thank yous, donations pending, donations received, and if you had put anybody in recontact, which we will see as we go through this, they would be sorted there as well. Those who are completed will sort to the very bottom, and that will also be an example we will show. All of these little arrows next to the different fields we have allow you to sort. So you can sort ascending or descending by name, major, or your last contact date. Last contact date means the last time that you contacted this classmate or your prospect in the system. Since this is a newer system, we can see that these people have never been contacted right now. However, that will change and will actually grow dynamically as we go through the system. So let's start by contacting Astrid Ludwig. If we click on contact, we're going to see that this populates with his name, mathematics is major. If he had employment information, it would come up here right underneath his name, along with some information about his participation in the most recent fiscal years. So that'll help you know when the last time this person gave. You'll notice that you have three different options for contacting. The phone icon is for calling them. You'll notice that we do have a phone script that populates down below. This is what we would recommend as guidelines if you're not sure quite what to say while making a phone call, but you can definitely go off script, but this is what is suggested by the college. If you do have the mobile app downloaded, you can actually just click on this little phone icon and it will dial through your cell phone so that you don't even need to worry about punching in the numbers. The next is a text message script. If we have a mobile phone on record, you can actually click on this and it will populate this text message into your messaging app that is downloaded on your phone, and you can send it out through your number. And last but not least, we do have the option to email. Here we have Gmail, Yahoo, and default. When you click on your preferred link, it will actually populate all of this information into your own email client. If you use Gmail or Yahoo, those are two of the most commonly used by Reher clients, which is why they're there, but it will work with any email client that we have, such as Charter, Verizon, etc. This will pop in, and you can make any edits that you want to in the email text itself. You cannot make changes to the scripts that are here, as these are scripts that are pushed out across the platform for the classmates themselves. So they will be class specific, but we can't make changes within there for individual people. So if we go back to phone, let's say that you spoke with Astrid. We're going to have you report your result. And we're going to ask you, how did it go? If during your conversation Astrid said that he would donate, you'd click Will Donate. How much? We put in the amount, we'll say $100. If they told you that they'd pay online, you'd click online. If they requested that a pledge card be sent, you can click that. Other, if there's something else, you can put that in. You're going to add any notes that you believe that your Holy Cross Fund representative should know about, and you'd click Submit. Other options are you could have need to recontact. Perhaps Astrid asked you to call back in 2 weeks or at another time. You could say, should you recontact in 1 week, 2 weeks, or you can select whatever date you would like down below if you're going to contact him tomorrow or on Friday, for example. And what this will do is that they will come up to the top of your list as needing to be recontacted above other contacts if that date comes. So it'll even tell you you're 2 days away from recontacting them, 1 day, or today's the day. Contact complete is the third option, and you're marking it complete if they will not donate, and that is if they are just steadfastly not wanting to donate, if you're unable to contact them for whatever reason, or if there's another reason entirely. You can make those notes down below and click Submit. What we will do is we'll just do a recontact example so that we can see what that will look like down below. So I'm going to say we'll do tomorrow. Be a better time. Also to note in this notes section is that you can actually put in any data updates that you receive or any information you believe that your Holy Cross Fund representative should know. So if they have an updated phone number, an updated email address, perhaps updated employment, anything that you think would be beneficial for us to know. One thing to note on that case is that if there's anything that you think is important for your Holy Cross Fund liaison to know, but might be a little too sensitive to put into the notes section because other people, like your class chairs, will be able to see it. So perhaps you don't want to put in if there's an illness in the system. You can always email them by clicking on Contact your person underneath your name. So I'm going to click Submit. And you'll see that it was a success in that upper green left-hand corner. And we'll click Done. And you can see that Astrid now has recontact tomorrow on his record. Now for Brian Perone, we're going to go on Send Thank You, Donation Received, and we're going to complete this. So how do you want to thank Brian, considering that he was generous, he made the gift to the college, he's really helping get us to our 50% goal? Could say that we want to email him. We have Gmail, Yahoo, and default. If you click on those, it's going to do exactly what it did under the contact section and populate all of the scripts in there so that you don't need to type everything out and you can just tweak it as you'd like. You also have the option of other. So if you want to call them, you can see that we have their phone numbers, mobile, primary, and a basic thank you script just there as well. So once you've either spoken to Brian or sent him an email thanking him for it, you can hit thank you and mark as complete. If you are not able to do that, there's always the cancel button at the bottom, but we'll hit thank you. It's going to ask you to verify that you want to complete Brian and that you've actually completed this process. And you'll see that our dashboard updated in the upper left-hand corner. We will also see that he is now complete. The reason that it's sorting like that is because I had sorted it by last contact date, and you can see that it has populated that to today. But if I sort it by our next action, there we go. Oop, ascending is what I wanted. You'll be able to see that it goes back to more of the sort that we had at the beginning. Also with the prospect screen, we have the Add Prospects button in the upper right-hand corner. When we click on that, you're going to be able to pick different classmates that you might want to add to your pool in addition to the people you already have. So if you are looking for, it's going to automatically give you the people who are more likely to give, who are not assigned at the top, or people who have similar interests or majors to you. But you can pick anybody and see a little bit more about them. So if I wanted to look at Meredith, I click on her name, and it will pop up some information about her so I can see, oh, it is the Meredith that I was thinking of and that we had an English class together with. And I can, if I want her in my prospect pool, I would click Add Prospect, and you'll see that she was added to my pool and no longer appears in this list. Additionally, you can search outside your preferred class year if you want to contact people outside of just your specific class year, but you have to know their full name first and last to be able to find them. And if there's somebody that you'd like to have in your pool but can't find, you're going to be able to contact your HCF liaison from the bottom, and it will pop it up into your default email client. Going back up a little bit right under our dashboard, as we can see, we have our complete and our donations, but we do have other things that we can look at as well. So if we click on the little right-hand button, we can see my particular class's goals with our progress to our actual goals that we have set forth for my class. And if we keep going, we can actually see how we're doing compared to all of the other classes as well. Right now, it's on the overall dollars portion, and if I scroll down, I'll be able to see myself in purple. But we also have the option in the upper right corner to switch to donors, participation rate, and annual giving dollars. So I'm going to switch it to donors just so it'll be a little bit easier to see, where I can see how we're falling with all of the different classes that are currently competing at Holy Cross. And we're right there. And that is our class agent portal in a nutshell. Are there any questions?
Great, Sam, thank you very much. There are a couple questions that have come in. The first one is from Richard McGuire, who writes, a portal is great, but given changing contact modes, what are you planning to do with social media, chatbots, Instagram, and the like? Richard, that's a really, really good question. I think before I answer that, I think that I will say that given the changing contact modes, that's really why peer-to-peer solicitation, peer-to-peer fundraising really is the most impactful, very best way to engage your classmates for alumni participation. It's the personal relationships and your ability to reach out by email, by text, by Facebook message, by Instagram message, in ways that the college cannot reach out to your classmates and really engage them. But I can tell you that during our Giving Day on February 14th, we did begin to ask people for their permission to text them with news of the college. So we will begin to put together a list of people who have agreed to be contacted by text message. We're also collecting cell phones when we are able to acquire cell phones, which is really one of the reasons, another reason that you can help us is you look at your assignments and you see if someone doesn't have a cell phone and you have a cell phone for them. We would love to get that into our system because there are so many people who are getting rid of their landlines. And then again, I think we have not gone the way of chatbots, but we are looking into a platform that allows text messages to be sent with giving links. And we're thinking about experimenting with that next fall. Some of our peer institutions have had some great success using that, and we are thinking about testing that on a small group of alumni next fiscal year. So I hope that answers your questions. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to talk offline, or you can type them in the box. Karen Sanchez writes, will class chairmen be able to see the entire class and who their class agent is? Karen is a class agent as well as a class chair. Karen, yes, you will be able to see a higher level of access as a class chair. This is the class agent view. The class chair view will allow you to see all of the agents and their assignments, as well as all of the unassigned members of your class. So you'll be able to reach out to them and through this portal as well. So you'll have a much greater ability to reach out with your class chair view. Lynn Salerno has asked, as a member of the class of 1979, I personally know many of the people on my list, and I personalize each note or email that I send. Will I still be able to personalize my emails to them? Lynn, yes, you will. When you go in, you'll see that there will be text that's preloaded into the system. But you will be able to click on one of the email providers and open it up into your email, and you'll be able to edit that text into anything you want. You'll also be able to send the text that you'd like to use to your class's liaison, and they could load the general text in there that you'd like to use, and then you could edit it as that. Sam, is there any chance that you could show that piece again to show Lynn how you can go through and do that?
So we'd hit contact. And in the email portion, we'd actually select our default mail client. Mine's coming up. So it's going to populate it in with my information. Well, if I was Peter, since I'm simulating him, but you'll see that we have John's email address, the actual header, but I could type in any changes that I might want to make from it, and you'll be able to send it off to John so it looks just like it's coming from yourself.
Great, Sam, thank you very much. Any other questions? All right, well, before we sign off, I just want to let you know that we are going to be mailing the class agent kits next week. They're going to start going out on a rolling basis next week. And you will also receive an email with how to activate your class agent portal account. Once you receive that link, you'll have 72 hours to go in and activate that. And please don't hesitate to reach out to your Holy Cross Fund liaison with any questions that you have on how to use this. We had someone from REHER here on campus during the Volunteer Summit a couple weeks ago, and he encouraged us all to go in and spend a few minutes every day just familiarizing ourselves with what the portal looks like and how it feels and how it works. And so I encourage all of you to go in and play in the portal a little bit before you start reaching out to your contacts. We were told that you cannot break this. So really just get in there and you know, play around with it and let us know what you think. And thank you for everything that you do and will do for the college. And have a great afternoon.